Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point afterwards.
Caitlin Clark may not just be the biggest name in women's basketball, she might be its billion-dollar catalyst. As the WNBA tipped off its 29th season, all eyes were once again on Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark. But this year, it's not just her game that's under the microscope, it's her staggering impact on the league's bottom line. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more. This is the kind of sports evolution you don't want to miss. According to Ryan Brewer, a finance professor at Indiana University Columbus, Clark was responsible for a jaw-dropping 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity last season. Yes, one player, over a quarter of the league's value. Brewer, known for his valuations of sports franchises, told NBC News, "If things just go as they were, and we have an expanded season of 22 home games with modest inflation, I'm looking at $875 million, and I could easily see that eclipsing $1 billion in economic impact from Caitlin Clark this year." Let that sink in. $1 billion. Clark's rookie campaign wasn't just about points and assists, it was about transforming how America sees women's basketball. She didn't just fill arenas, she outdrew the Indiana Pacers. Fever home games averaged over 17,000 fans, compared to 16,000 for the city's NBA team. League-wide attendance jumped from 6,615 to 9,807 in just 1 year. TV ratings? Clark broke records. An average of 1.2 million viewers tuned in per ESPN broadcast, and a preseason game played at her alma mater, Iowa, drew 1.3 million viewers, more than almost every NBA preseason game since 2010. When Caitlin Clark plays, America watches. She's even shifting the landscape behind the scenes. The WNBA, prepping for a $2.2 billion media rights deal set to start in 2026, is already negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement, something sparked in part by the revenue she helped generate. Clark's rookie salary? $76,535. Her Nike deal? An estimated $28 million over 8 years. And she's not just lifting the Fever, she's lifting everyone. All 10 of the top-selling WNBA games on StubHub this season? Every single one involves the Fever. When Clark plays on the road, average ticket prices soar to $312, a 140% increase. Brewer even valued the Fever franchise at $340 million, nearly quadruple what it was worth before Clark arrived. And her impact on Indianapolis? An estimated $41 million boost to the local economy. Hotel bookings, tourism interest, and even corporate events have surged thanks to her presence. Visit Indy. The city's tourism board saw a 501% increase in page visits related to the Fever. After targeting Clark's Iowa fanbase with ads, they're now using Fever games to attract convention planners, many of whom wouldn't have come to Indianapolis otherwise. From ticket sales to merchandise, where Clark ranks 6th among all basketball players on Fanatics, including NBA stars, to TV rights and corporate sponsorships, she's changed everything. So while there are other rising stars, Caitlin Clark isn't just a talent, she's a movement. Subscribe for more. This is only the beginning. Who's taking the 2025 WNBA crown, and which superstar will dominate the season? The GMs have spoken, revealing bold predictions that could change everything, from championship favorites to MVP frontrunners, breakout stars to game changers coaches fear. We've got 5 bold forecasts that will shape the entire season. Stick around to find out who's set to rise and who's already a powerhouse. Like and subscribe for the latest WNBA insights. First up, the big question. Who's winning the championship? According to the latest odds and expert predictions, the New York Liberty are the favorites to repeat, but the Minnesota Lynx are right behind them. The Lynx, led by Nafisa Collier, came within one possession of winning it all last season and returned nearly their entire roster, making them a top contender for 2025. If defense wins championships, the Lynx, anchored by Collier's tenacious play, are ready to reclaim the throne. When it comes to MVP predictions, the answer is almost unanimous among GMs. Napheesa Collier leads the pack, recently picked as the likely MVP, though Caitlin Clark opens the season as the betting favorite, with reigning MVP A'ja Wilson close behind. Collier's relentless energy on both ends has made her the cornerstone of Minnesota's title hopes, but don't count out other stars like Wilson and Clark, who are fierce competition for the award. The MVP race promises to be electrifying. If GMs were to build a team from scratch, who would they pick first? Half of them say Caitlin Clark. Her dazzling playmaking, incredible court vision, and skyrocketing popularity make her the most coveted franchise player in the league. Clark isn't just a star. She's a generational talent who can transform any franchise into a championship contender. Strategically, there's one player coaches fear the most, A'ja Wilson. Known for her versatile, all-around game, Wilson creates matchup nightmares for opponents every night. She forces defensive schemes to shift and adapt, constantly keeping coaches on edge. Caitlin Clark and Breanna Stewart are close behind, but Wilson's impact is unmatched when it comes to changing the flow of the game. Finally, the breakout star everyone's buzzing about is Sada Sabally, topping 20% of GM votes for most likely to explode this season. Sabally is ready to seize the spotlight, but watch out for Maddie Siegrist, Aaliyah Boston, and Ryan Howard. Each is primed to become a household name in 2025. The league's future is bright with these emerging talents. So there you have it. 5 bold forecasts straight from the people shaping the WNBA's future. Will the Minnesota Lynx claim the crown? Can Napheesa Collier cement her MVP legacy? And who will be the breakout superstar that changes the game forever? One thing's for sure, the 2025 WNBA season is shaping up to be unforgettable. Are you ready for the action? Hit like if you believe the Lynx will win it all, comment your MVP pick below, and don't forget to subscribe for all things WNBA. Thanks for watching. 4 games into the WNBA season, and Caitlin Clark has a 48% chance to win MVP on Poly Market Sport in just her second year. Caitlin Clark on being in MVP conversations last season.
So they vote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what does that mean to you, to know that there are journalists who cover this league day in and day out who believe you are one of the top 5 for the MVP award?
It's definitely cool. I think especially where I started the year and then was able to kind of figure it out as we go, and now entering game 40, like it feels night and day from where I started. And you know, I'm proud of myself in that regard. I think I've learned a lot, and I've had to learn without really much time to practice or have an off season to implement things that I want to implement, and having to learn, you know, a new scheme and new teammates and new coaches. So, you know, trying to balance that all at once has definitely been difficult, but once we kind of found our groove, I think, you know, my teammates have allowed me to be myself, and that's what's kind of brought us some success. But it's definitely special. But I think one of the biggest things for myself is, like, I've tried to keep basketball the main thing, and just to enjoy it and play fun, or play and have fun, play free. I think that's when I'm really at my best. But at the same time, like, you don't get caught up in all of that. That kind of just comes with how you perform on the floor. So it's definitely a cool honor. People that have been in the basketball world and the WNBA space for a really long time to think of you in that way. But at the same time, I feel like there is just so much room for me to improve. And obviously, you know, we have big goals in the playoffs entering that here in our last regular season game. I still feel like there's a lot more for us that we can achieve and still, you know, exceed some expectations that people have for us. So I think more than anything, that can get myself further, get us further as an organization. So I think that's it's been cool for myself in this first year, is just, you know, approaching every single day like, you know, it's new, it's fresh. I think early on, that was the best thing about us, was just our energy. Like, it never was flat. We came in and we got better, and we knew that the tide was going to turn for us, and it certainly did.
We've got time for 2 on